Great visits with all the folks that were here. I think the best way to describe my mentality, I'm just really excited to get going. I think we're really thankful for Jody and the things that her and the rest of the ownership group did while especially since I've been here. It's been fantastic, and hopefully the rest of the 12 feel the same way as they should. And then now we're entering a new chapter in our organization's history, and so I think that's a cause for excitement as well.
There he is, Mike Macdonald, head coach of Seattle Seahawks, talking about the new ownership group. He said on Saturday that he had a brief meeting with them, and it's great to hear that all systems go, nothing changing here.
Yeah, that's the thing is you don't want anything to change here, and you don't want the owners to get involved. We talked about it. That's one of the things, just one of the things that made Paul Allen and Jody Allen so good at what they did as the stewards of this football team is the fact that they just left it for John Schneider, left it for Mike Macdonald, and see what happens. They just rode it right to the Super Bowl title. So I think that's really important for an owner to recognize their roles as well.
Well, and you use that word recognize. I also love the fact that Coach Macdonald recognizes Jody Allen and her team for all the success that this organization has had, and rightfully so. It's just been great how much they have honored them, and now they get ready for a new chapter with a new ownership group. Now, there has been some changes here, Paul, outside Seahawks training camp. You've been covering this team for a couple decades at training camp. First time ever HBO Hard Knocks is here. You're going to see it today. Cameras are everywhere, Paul. I mean, be careful. You could be mic'd up right now. I don't know. You possibly could be. I mean, possibly. We asked Coach Macdonald about that, if he noticed all the cameras. Here's what he had to say.
I'm mic'd up right now. I got to get used to that. I told the guys, like, they're going to capture what we do, and they do a great job of doing that. Let's be us. We want them to capture us. We're proud of who we are and how we do things, and so there's really no reason to try to change anything or try to be something we're not. So
there we go. So just be who we are, and we'll see. That's maybe why HBO's out shooting eagles right now, because they're not going to get a whole lot from the Seahawks team. Not going to be a lot of show. It's going to be workout here.
Well, they're not going to get a lot from that man, that's for sure, Mike Macdonald. But again, this is the first time ever the Seahawks have been on HBO's Hard Knocks, so certainly an experience throughout the building.
They will get a lot from Softy, though, Paul.
Yeah, that's for sure. And they might even get a lot from you, my man. All right, let's bring in Dave Softy Mahler of Sports Radio 93.3 KJR FM. And I don't know where to start with you, Softy, but I know that you're excited that football season is here.
Yeah, I'm fired up. I'm fired up for that King 5 quarter zip you have on there too, pal. I need one of those, by the way. I got the Taco Time. I got the Emerald Queen. I got the KJR. I need that fancy schmancy King 5 quarter zip so I can represent King 5 when I'm on the air with you guys. But, it's funny. You're talking about Macdonald there and how Hard Knocks is not going to get a lot out of Macdonald. What do you think you'd get less out of, him or Dan Wilson across the street at T-Mobile Park? Because neither one of those guys, they might be using the same book of cliches, the two of these dudes. The difference is one of them's got a Super Bowl title and the other one is in hot water right now, man. So, yeah, I'm jacked up for football. I'm fired up for this team, man, going to defend a championship. And Chris and Paul give us something that I think we were robbed of 12 years ago in 2014.
Well, you said it, my friend. One does have a championship, so we'll begin with him. We'll talk about the Mariners in the next segment with you, Softy. I talked about Hard Knocks there. You excited to watch this next week when it premieres?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just fired up to see what media member makes the most appearances on the TV show. And I know Joel's got that for his list. Is that right? Later on today? Just a heads up, Greg Bell has got a new show on KJR every day from 10 to noon, and he's looking for as much marketing and promotion that he can get. Don't be surprised if Greg Bell is the guy that sticks his face into that camera more than anybody else in media, because he needs all the marketing and promotion he can get. Trust me, keep an eye out for that dude.
Well, he did ask 16 of the 32 questions on Saturday, so I think he's in the running.
Hey, man, look, whatever carries the press conference, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, I think McDonald actually respected the way Greg was asking questions that day, too, just trying to get whatever he could out of him on day one. But we talked about Hard Knocks and the fact that Witherspoon's going to be a star on that show. That's definitely a lock. But Witherspoon is waiting for his new contract. He shares the same agent as Christian Gonzalez of the New England Patriots, another fellow cornerback. So it feels like one shoe has to drop before the other one drops. Do you think that Spoon will be the highest paid cornerback despite, maybe the Patriots and Gonzalez waiting for that deal to get done so they can make Gonzalez the highest paid?
Well, he deserves to be the highest paid. I mean, if Trent McDuffie is the highest paid in the NFL right now, he's better than McDuffie, and I think by a decent margin, to be honest with you. So, look, if I'm Devon Witherspoon, there might be a part of me that might want to roll the dice and wait another year, because if you wait another year, you might be making an extra 15, 20 million bucks over the entire life of that contract. And look, I know it's easy for me to sit here in my perch and say something like that, bird in hand. Obviously, I'd take that money and I'd run all the way to the bank, for crying out loud. But if you're Devon Witherspoon, do you have the guts, man, to sit there and wait one more year and see what everybody else gets and then go into your fifth-year option next offseason before you sign the deal? I don't think he will. I think the Hawks will take care of this guy. Look, the next guy isn't always the best guy, and the highest paid guy isn't always the best guy. That guy right there, number 21, is better than McDuffie, and he's better than Christian Gonzalez, and he deserves to be paid more than both of those dudes.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to get paid. I love it, Softy. Jackson Smith-Njigba, we heard from him earlier in the show. He gets a lot of praise, rightfully so. He deserves that praise. I got to throw out Cooper Kupp, though. In his 10th season, the former Eastern Washington Star just continues to deliver for this team. Do you like his approach, his game on and off the field?
Yeah, I thought he was going to think about maybe retiring, guys, after they won the title last year. I thought, what a perfect time for a 32-year-old, 33-year-old guy to call it quits. He wins a Super Bowl in his home state in year one as a Seahawk. I mean, obviously, he's got a lot of money he's owed, $15 million, right, whatever it is, for 2026. So it's hard to walk away from cash like that. But I was expecting there to be some chatter about Cooper Kupp walking away, especially after the year he had a year ago. He's banged up, he's a little down. When they went and made the move for Rashid Shaheed, I thought they were making the move because Cooper Kupp was banged up. It turns out they were making that move because Torrey Horton was banged up, right? So now we're going to have Torrey Horton, we're going to have Rashid Shaheed, we're going to have Cooper Kupp, we're going to have Jackson Smith-Njigba all playing together in this offense. There may not be, guys, enough footballs to go around, so I'm expecting possibly JSN's numbers to go down a little bit from last year. I don't know if you'll ever see a year like that out of him again statistically, but can he be even more economical, right, than he was a year ago? Can he get his catch percentage up? Can he get his third down percentage up? Can they be a little more efficient in the red zone, which I thought if there was one weakness of the offense a year ago, it was their red zone offense, especially in the passing game. So these guys may have won the title. They may have gone 17-3 over 20 games, but trust me, there's plenty of stuff to work on, man, and I love that.
Yeah, a good problem to have all those receivers. I know Paul's going to get into Horton in a second. I just want both of you to know, Cooper Kupp's parents, by the way, did not play sports at the University of Washington, Softy. They were both superstars at Pacific Lutheran University. Go Lutes. That's where it comes from, Paul. It's that Lute blood, baby.
Like I wonder why you brought that up, man. The alum himself, Chris Egan. Hey, let's stay with Horton for a minute, Softy, because I'm not going to make you talk about PLU sports. Oh, no offense, but let's move on to the Seahawks here. Horton limited to just 8 games last year. He had some injuries. He had 13 catches, 161 yards, 5 touchdowns. That huge game in prime time against the Commanders as well. But, how important is it for him? And as you talked about, some of these other guys like Kupp and some of the other receiving core, Shaheed, to maybe take a little pressure off JSN, give Sam Darnold more of an arsenal to throw to?
Well, first of all, for those that tune into this show every day and wonder why Egan's here, you just found out to bring random, irrelevant facts to the table that nobody cares about besides him and his family. That's the number one reason why Chris Egan's here, he satisfies every single day. But going back to Horton for a second, Paul, this guy's got an injury history now. Going back to last year as a rookie, he had some injury problems when he was in college as well at Nevada. So I'm not going to say he's injury prone yet, but if he gets dinged up again this year and misses misses a significant amount of time, you got to start to wonder, can this guy stay healthy in the National Football League? And look, last year I thought the Hawks kind of dropped the ball a little bit with his injury situation. I'm a little bit irritated with the Eamon Warry thing. We can talk about that in a second. But going back to Julian Love a year ago, that guy right there, Torrey Horton, I think Mike Macdonald, really, from what I've heard behind the scenes, is not a guy that wants to put anybody on the IL, and he will wait until the last second. He's a rub some dirt on it and get back in there kind of guy. He may put on this kind of, boring face in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, he's kind of a ball buster when it comes to stuff like that. And I thought they waited way too long to put Torrey Horton and Julian Love on the IL. What should have been, 4 games, maybe 5 at the most, turned into a couple of months for Torrey Horton. So let's see how he responds this year. And then just going back to Rashid Shaheed, guys, I know he had a down year catch-wise for the Seahawks. Obviously, his biggest contributions were on special teams. Go back and look at what he was on pace to do in New Orleans with no quarterback and no other wide receivers around him before he got traded. He was actually on pace to put up some pretty damn good numbers with the Saints, and then he comes here, and he's basically, let's face it, the third wheel behind Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith-Njigba, and that also coincided, too, guys, with the arrival, I thought, of A.J. Barner and the resurgence of the running game and Kenny Walker in the last couple months of the year. So I'm jacked up to see what Rashid Shaheed can do with a full offseason with Sam and playing behind this offensive line for the second year in a row.
Well, let's not shy away from what you said at the beginning of that answer. Frustrated with what's going on with Nick Eamon Warry. Talk about that.
Right. Well, he was hurt during the Super Bowl. That was 4 months ago. I mean, what are we doing, right? I mean, if this was something that needed to be repaired, why are we waiting until, the week, 2 weeks, whatever it is before training camp? So I'm not going to panic yet because we don't know if he's going to miss week 1. But this is a division race, guys, that could come down to the blade of a knife, the edge of a knife. And if Nick Eamon Warry misses 1 game and they lose a game because their defense gets into a slugfest and they give up a late field goal or a late game-winning touchdown, partially because Nick Eamon Warry is not there, I'm not going to sit back and just say that's okay. That's not okay at all. So I'm not saying the Hawks haven't done everything they can do to get Nick Eamon Warry on the field and ready to go for week number 1. But I'm just wondering if this was an injury that he was dealing with in the Super Bowl, why are they waiting so long to get this taken care of when he's so damn important to this football team?
All right, let's flip to the other side of the ball. Running back Jadarian Price has been said to get quite a bit of a workload coming up in training camp and throughout the season. Mike Macdonald wants to put a lot on this guy. How much does it help Softy to have a guy coming out of Notre Dame's program? He's used to the bright lights and the intensity of the football program and the game itself. Does it help him make that transition to this type of bright lights in the NFL?
Well, he might be taking a step back in pressure from Notre Dame, to be honest with you. You go into the Seahawks, they realize the NFL is a pressure cooker, and we got high standards here in Seattle. But, I mean, you cannot get into a bigger pressure cooker in college football than when you're at Notre Dame, right? I know we all talk about the SEC and, lunatic fringe in the South and things like that, but Notre Dame is no cakewalk for fans, man. But that dude right there, first of all, the fact that he had to split time with a top 3 draft pick in the NFL, if he was the main guy, and I've told you guys this before in South Bend last year, I think he would have put up numbers that would have gotten him to New York City to be a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. So there's no doubt in the talent whatsoever, and he's also coming in at a freaking awesome time to play behind this offensive line. Guys, you tell me, Paul, Chris, you've been around for a long time. When was the last time the Seahawks brought back the entire starting offensive line from the year before? I think it was 2004 going into 2005, because remember, they lost Hutchinson to the poison pill after they played the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I don't think we've seen something like this in 2 decades, man. What a great opportunity for Jadarian Price to come in here, be the man from day number 1, because let's face it, with Charbonnet banged up right now, there really is no depth behind this guy. Emmanuel Wilson's just a guy. George Halani is just a guy. So I love the fact that he's playing behind this phenomenal offensive line, and he's going to get to be the guy from day 1.
No question about it, Dave. I will say this, and it's only day 2 of practice, but it was good to see. You mentioned Emmanuel Wilson, number 27. He was getting a lot of touches out here yesterday, so they were working him quite a bit. In 2025, 496 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, 15 receptions. So, yeah, I agree. Price is the man, but to have Wilson helping out with that load, the Fort Valley State grad, was doing some work out here on Sunday. We'll watch him closely today as well.
Yeah, George Halani's another guy who has slowly made his way through this Seahawks organization and continues to build in the upward direction.